and adapt to the new trends of entrepreneurship and to develop their own skills in terms of investment, managing their entrepreneurial projects, and to grow in a sustainable way. Second part is related to building the partnerships. We have strong partnerships, and today is one of those partnerships that we have. Liwa Russell is one of our members, and I hope, inshallah, all of the members will have their own initiatives that will be supported from the association. Rescue also is one of our esteemed partners, and we are working with them together to help all of the entrepreneurs who are working in the side of food and beverage. The other part of the association is related to the government relations, where we are trying to connect the private sector to the government sector and being the main communication channel between the entrepreneurs and the government, where we are solving their own challenges and bringing their voice loudly to the government to have the right regulations and the right practices that are supporting those entrepreneurs. Finally, I want to thank Liwa Russell for having this amazing event, and hopefully, inshallah, we'll see you in the next upcoming events, inshallah. For anyone of you who is not a member of EEA, you can log into our own website, eeauae.ae, and register there to get the benefit of the membership benefits. Thank you so much, and enjoy the event.
Can you check? So next we have our sponsors. Thank you for the sponsors. We have SIPI, we have Rescero, and we have also Fulusi, who are part of the sponsorship. So, mashallah. Except the CEO, no, it's not here. They have a small presentation, and they will just come up, our sponsor, one by one to the stage. They will give you a very brief presentation about what they do, what value they will give you, and if you like to talk to them, they are available there, you can talk to them. Okay?
Thank you very much. Just to be sure, how long do I have? I'm very passionate, so I can talk about the subject for hours, but I'll try to go for 5 minutes. Or you go. So, hi everyone, I'm very happy to be here. I'm a big lover of coffee, so it's a perfect opportunity for me. I'm JP, I'm a product marketer at SAPI. And SAPI is a data-driven inventory management software. We work with 2,000 customers across the UAE and across the globe. And if there's one thing that we've realized, is that successful restaurants are data-driven restaurants. Successful coffee chains are data-driven coffee chains. But cutting costs is hard. And making data-driven decisions to cut costs is a challenge. Why is it a challenge? It's a challenge because the data that you have isn't clean. It's a challenge because entering data into your systems to understand how your branches are doing, to understand the variance in your inventory, to understand if your menu is performing is difficult because your data isn't clean, entering data isn't working, centralizing data is a challenge, and that means that your decision makers aren't able to have data-driven decisions. Now, what's the issue with that? The issue with that is that right now, those of you who work in coffee chains might be operating with a huge variance in their inventory and you're not aware of it. Right now, you might be selling a coffee or an item from your menu without knowing that you're actually losing money. Why? Because the price of your ingredients is not attached to the price of your menu item. And prices keep going up because of inflation, because of supply chain issues, but you might not be aware of it. Why? Because you're not data-driven. So that's the cost that you're paying by not operating on a data-driven software. And that's exactly why we created SAPI. So what is SAPI? Apart from being a beautiful name. SAPI is a data-driven restaurant inventory management platform that helps restaurants cut costs, eliminate variance, and maximize your profits. That's quite a big promise. How do we do that? We do that by building products that are obsessively driven by a vision, which is to enable restaurant owners and operators to become data-driven. We do this by unifying your data architecture. What does that mean? If you operate several branches, the items, the way that you name your items, the way that you classify your suppliers, the way that you name your menu items are set in a homogeneous way. That means that whenever we need to look at the performance of a branch or the performance of the business at a group level, you're able to do it with just a button. What's the equivalent of that without such a software? Well, the equivalent of that is you calling an assistant and saying, hey, can you please aggregate that data? And that's going to take you 2 days. And then that data is going to be sent to you. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to trust it. And you won't be able to make decisions with confidence. The second way of how we enable you to become data-driven is by enabling the entry of a reliable and accurate data from all of your staff, not just from one person. How do you do that? You do that by creating products that are adapted to the modern way of consumption, of using products, meaning with a mobile app. To this mobile app, you attach user permissions to it so that whenever you have a sous chef who wants to order, he doesn't just order ingredients, he drafts an order, and then you have the chef or the head of procurement who confirms that order if it is aligned with the business's needs. There are countless examples of that sort that essentially prove the fact that you now can control the data that goes into your business is reliable and is accurate for you and your decision makers. And lastly, there's no point in having data if you can't understand it.